Hello, everyone. This is your bedtime severe weather update. I thought I would give everyone a quick update on what we can expect the rest of the night, which hopefully is not a whole lot compared to this evening. But we do have a couple areas of concern I want to talk about really quickly here. And unfortunately, we do have a tornado warning, not for Dallas County, really not anywhere near Saxe or Garland or anywhere like that, but down south near Alvarado, eastern Johnson County, western Ellis County. So if you know of anyone that lives in that neck of the woods, Alvarado, Midlothian, maybe eventually Waxahachie, not the tornado warning does not include Waxahachie, but as things get closer, we might be looking at that. So if you know anybody down there, shoot them a text. Let them know. I know it's bedtime for most people, but shoot them a text and make sure that they know what's going on down there. So we'll take a real quick look at this on the velocity. And yeah, so you can definitely see. I'm going to do that all night, apparently. So you can definitely see the rotation right there. So it's not, it's really close to the radar site. So this is something that if you live in, like I said, if you happen to be watching me and you live in this area, just stay on the lookout for this tornado. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but definitely strong rotation indicated on the radar there. So again, if you know someone that lives in Alvarado, Midlothian, Maypearl, Waxahachie, maybe eventually, just give them a heads up on the storm because there's probably a decent chance of tornadoes on the ground with that kind of velocity signature. But again, if you're just joining us, that is not Saxe. That is south of Fort Worth, and we'll zoom out here a little bit, as you can as you can tell, not too far from the radar site. So let's move back up here into our neck of the woods. So right now, most of the northern half of Dallas County is still under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's until 11:30. The main hazard with this particular warning is quarter-size hail. We've seen some of that in the Carrollton Farmers Branch area down close to University Park. So it's something that we definitely want to keep an eye on. At this point, the track of that hail core, and I say hail core very liberally, it's probably going to stay south of northern Dallas County. Pretty much, if you know people that live south of 635 in the Dallas area, Lake Highlands, areas like that, might want to be on the lookout. It's nothing terribly big, but it is some hail that's going on. And that part of this is, warning polygon, and that's what the warning is issued for. The Dallas County side of Saxe is technically included in the warning, but really most of that bad weather from a hail perspective is south of really Garland. So nothing, unless something really ramps up here in the next couple of minutes, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot. So let's zoom in on this storm a little bit. So you can see a little bit of this is probably the most intense part of the storm right here. Probably got some hail there, maybe not even quarter size, but definitely probably smaller than that. And if we look at the hydrometer layer, let's see what we got. Yeah, it shows a little bit of hail core there in the red. That's really a hail rain mix. So wouldn't be surprised if you saw some hail there in the northeast part of Dallas, just northeast of University Park, Lake Highlands area. So if you know people that live there, just tell them, hey, don't be shocked if you see some hail. But it's something that nothing huge to worry about. But just if you hear that hail, it wouldn't be don't be totally shocked. Okay, so as far as this particular storm, I'll take this off. Luckily, not really seeing any kind of rotation in this storm, not even broad rotation. So that's good. This particular storm, has not really indicated a lot of rotation anyway. But with the kind of setup we do have a tornado watch until 2 a.m. Although I don't think we're going to have to worry about weather until 2 a.m. for us. Now, again, if you're in East Texas, Southeast Texas, yes, you will be having to worry about the potential for storms, into the early morning hours, unfortunately for you. All right, so let's go back to the reflectivity here. Okay, so Meredith, my good friend Meredith is in Hurst, thundering super loud and raining in Fort Worth. Yeah, we'll expand the radar out a little bit here. Yeah, it sure is. Although I think you're the worst for you is probably past Meredith. So that's good. Valerie just started with a lot of lightning and loud thunder and Rockwell. Yeah, but again, there's nothing terribly concerning for your neck of the woods. So hopefully it'll stay that way. Bridget, when should the bad weather be over for Saxy? Um, Hopefully the bad weather is already over. To be honest with you, bad's a relative term, of course, but as far as the severe weather, I think Saxy is probably about done. And I can't say that with 100% certainty, but I think the worst is probably past us. Uh, Miss Thompson, hail in the Casa Linda area. Yeah, they have had some reported hail in the Casa Linda area. I haven't seen anything too big. I think the biggest size I've seen in that area is quarter size hail, but I think most of it's been less smaller than that. So, but yeah, that's where the hail is most prevalent at the moment in that part of Dallas, Dallas proper, not Dallas County, but Dallas City of Dallas. So if you have friends that live over there, just make them aware of that. If you shoot them a text or something, and I would say that if you live uh, pretty much anywhere south of up in our neck of the woods, Highway 66, say Highway 66 and south, Forest Lane, if you were to take it over to where Forest Lane hits 635. If you live pretty much south of that, yeah, again, this is not, it's not anything like a big hailstorm or anything like that. But I just think they have a little bit more hail than we do up here. I haven't seen any hail reports up in Northeast Dallas County in Saxe or Garland, or at least the northern part of Garland. Wiley, Murphy. I haven't seen that. Not saying that there could have been some hail, but I haven't seen a lot of reports of that. Yes, ugh, Miss Thompson. Yes, Bridget, you're welcome. Like I said, it's getting well, it's really past my bedtime, but it's getting close to that, and so luckily most of us will be able to go to sleep in this part of DFW and not feel too apprehensive about doing that. But the main reason I wanted to come on is to give everyone kind of a bigger picture look at what we're talking about. So as far as the northern part of the metroplex, now the far northern part of the metroplex, north of Highway 380, they definitely saw some rough weather. But between Highway 380 south into southern Collin County, Dallas County, down to 635, nothing horrible. A lot of rain, probably a lot more rain than we thought. But nothing as far as big hail. Like I said, the biggest hail we had in Dallas County was in the Farmers Branch area. Did see one report of about an inch in diameter. So that's severe criteria. So it's definitely a reason to have severe thunderstorm warning until 11:30. Now, most of the really rough weather is, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast here, is down southeast of Fort Worth, south and southeast of Fort Worth, in eastern Johnson and western Ellis County. So again, this is a classic wind tornado spin up event. And just to put the velocity back on here. Yeah, so there's a couple things going on here with this particular storm. So again, if you know someone that lives in this area, again, if they live in Venus, Midlothian, Maypearl, they tell them that tell them to take shelter. We do have a tornado warning. They need to be in their safe place. It's at night, so unfortunately, some people are probably asleep. So hopefully they have a way to get a warning. But if you know someone in this area, just make them aware. Shoot them a text. Give them a call. They're not going to care if you wake them up if the tornado's heading toward their doorstep. Let's put this in motion here real quick and kind of see what this particular storm is doing. Again, if you're just joining us, this tornado warning is not for Dallas County. This is for eastern Johnson County and western Ellis County. And yeah, this tornado is kind of cycled up and down, so it's the rotation doesn't look quite as strong as it did a few minutes ago, really. But still, there's definitely some wind with this. This is the latest radar scan. So yeah, the rotation is not near as tight as it used to be. But again, this general area is probably where, and specifically right here, is if there is a tornado on the ground. I'm not saying there is, but if there is a tornado on the ground, then that's where it would be. So just north of Venus. And again, if you know someone, or if you happen to be watching and you live in Midlothian, definitely take shelter. You just don't want to mess around with stuff like this. And if nothing else, you see these really strong winds showing radar here. So this is something that again, that's not to be taken lightly either. There doesn't have to be a tornado to have damage from straight line winds. So that's something that we definitely want to keep an eye on if you live down there, or if you're watching in it, or if you know someone that lives down there. Like I said, shoot them a text, wake them up. They'll be glad you did. If something's heading their way, they can take shelter. All right, so let's put the reflectivity back on here real quick. There we go. Okay, so that is by far the worst of the weather in our area. And again, you can see this classic Boeing structure, and that's not good if you're anywhere here. So again, if you know someone down there, give them a call, shoot them a text, let them know what's going on. And we'll shoot back up here to our neck of the woods real quick. So not a whole lot has changed. Again, obviously this storm is not near as bad as the storm south and southeast of Fort Worth, but the most intense part of the storm, if you will, is right here. So again, that's east of University Park, east of Highland Park. Like I said, really the Lake Highlands area, Casa Linda area. Again, it's nothing to write home about as far as being that bad, but it's just relatively speaking, it's probably the worst of this particular storm. Okay, so it's like I said, it's about 10 after 11 now. So what can we expect in the bigger picture? So for Dallas Fort Worth proper, if you remember at my last update, we were looking at this line out this way, and luckily, what I thought would happen is it kind of merged with this other line, and what's left of it is this. And of course, there's a lot left of it, unfortunately. Well, if I can just get my screen to work here, you can see this classic Boeing structure here. So it's if you live south of if you know someone that lives south of Interstate 20, so that's and really as far as the rest of the night goes, it's like I said, it's 10 after 11. So if you know anybody that lives anywhere in this area, now I realize it's a broad, big area, but if you know someone that lives in that area, next couple hours, unfortunately, is probably kind of rough for them. So that's everywhere from Waxahachie, especially Waxahachie. You got to watch that tornado. Although it's be north of there right now, but tornadoes can make turns really quick, so you got to watch out for that. So if you're in Waxahachie, definitely watch out for this particular storm. But in the area that I drew, Ennis, Corsicana, hold on, that tornado warning down south. Let's see. Okay, so I don't hear about a confirmed tornado, but it's still obviously from that radar signature, it's definitely nothing to mess around with. But again, back to this area I drew. So, like I said, if you know Kaufman, Canton, eventually Athens, uh, you know, in the next 2 hours or so, yeah, this line is going to move through this area. So, what can you expect? So, hopefully not tornadoes, but we're seeing tornadoes right now. But you could definitely expect gusty winds, straight line winds, maybe 60, 70, hopefully not more than that, but 80 miles an hour, just depending on how this line evolves. But this is kind of what we were thinking all day, was that um, we would have a line of storms that would evolve into this Boeing structure and move across. And fortunately for most of the Metroplex, that has been south or going to be south of Dallas Fort Worth proper. And we had some areas north of us earlier that had some tornado, bigger hail. So we were fortunate in the sense that if you live in between Interstate 30 and US Highway 380, you kind of missed the worst of it, with a few exceptions. So that's something we definitely got to watch out for. So, like I said, most of the weather will stay south of Interstate 30, but these Boeing signatures can do strange things, so we just got to watch it closely. But again, if you live in this area I drew, just be on the alert. And if my buddy Misty is listening, unfortunately that includes you. So definitely keep an eye on it. Like I said, it'll be after midnight for most of these areas. But lastly, we'll focus on the tornado warnings here. Get back over here. So again, those of you just joining me, these tornado warnings are not for Dallas or Tarrant County. This is south, the Metroplex proper. But again, and as I feared earlier, I was talking about Waxahachie not being in the polygon before. So it is now, and that's not surprising. So let's put the velocity back on here real quick. Yeah, so starting to see more of a rotation signature here. So again, if you know anybody that lives in Midlothian, anywhere in this area, and I would go ahead. It's in the polygon. I would go ahead and include Waxahachie. If you know someone that lives in these areas south of the Metroplex, like I said, shoot them a text, wake them up. Unfortunately, tornadoes are very dangerous at night. I don't know that we've had a confirmed tornado with this or not, but the signature is impressive. So that's something we definitely will watch out for. And if nothing else, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, you can tell from these brighter colors here that definitely a lot of wind. Regardless of a tornado, definitely a lot of wind. So that's very common with these Boeing structures that we see. So, like I said, so anybody that's in this area, like I said, Waxahachie, ultimately maybe over to Ennis, kind of hugging the Ellis Dallas County line south of us. So that's something we definitely want to watch out for. Of course, there's a broader area of severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect. So let's go back to the reflectivity. Yeah, so as far as the severe thunderstorm warning, outside the tornado warning, 65-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail. So that's what you can expect. But again, not Dallas-Fort Worth proper. All right, so with that, we're going to put this in motion real quick and kind of give everybody an idea of the overall motion and everything. So, like I said, the bottom line is this: for the vast majority of the metroplex that's north of, you might even say Interstate 20, but certainly Interstate 30. The worst of it's probably over. I can't, like I said before, I can't say that with 100% certainty, but it's looking more and more like that. The storms to the south of us, south of Dallas Fort Worth, are kind of taking precedence. Unfortunately for those guys and gals down there, taking precedent over the severe weather. And again, you can kind of see down south that it's just really turning into a straight line wind event. And let's stop this real quick. And so that hook is not near as pronounced, but I will look at velocity real quick. No, it's okay. It's still there. And so again, like I said, this is the area of circulation here. So again, if you live Midlothian, take cover. Please take cover. If you know someone that, like I said, send them a text, give them a call. Okay, so let's go back to the reflectivity one more time because it is getting late. And so, real quick, the closest severe weather to us here in Dallas County is this core right here, and they shrunk down the severe thunderstorm warning from this original one, so that makes sense based on the radar presentation. And well, let's see what we got as far as an update. Yeah, still radar indicated quarter size hail. So, all right, so let's pan out a little bit one more time, get a bigger idea. So, if you live in East Texas, know people live in East Texas, Southeast Texas, just be on your guard tonight. It's gonna be a rough night for them. But for us, the worst of the worst is over. But you're gonna hear some light. You're gonna see lightning, hear thunder, probably for the next hour or so, and then we should be it should be done. So looks like the worst of the worst is over. If for some reason that changes, I will definitely come back and let you know that. But hopefully, I won't have to do that. Okay, well, thank everybody for watching. I really do appreciate you. And as always, I'm watching the weather, so you don't have to. It's time to go to bed for me. But if something comes up where we need to talk some more, I definitely will do that. Hopefully not. Hope everyone has a great evening, and we will talk to you soon.